All right, the Assistant Commissioner of the SES in New South Wales is Colin Malone. Let's get back to talking to him. Colin, where is the focus particularly tonight?
Good evening, Paul, and good evening to all the viewers. The focus tonight continues from Kempsey all the way down, and as you reported earlier, we're seeing the weather system move in through Metropolitan Sydney, and it'll move down the south coast overnight. Our advice from the Bureau is it's going to move a bit quicker as it gets through the night, and what we'll see down on the Metropolitan Sydney and the south coast, we won't see that lingering rain that hung around for a long time. So it should move through there within the 24-hour period, hopefully not causing the same level of problems we had up on the mid-north coast. But as you mentioned, we're not out of the woods up in the Kempsey down to that Dungog area. We've still got quite a bit of water around. We've still got people out of their houses. So we're going to be with them for the long haul as we move into the recovery side of the activity.
Yeah, we're deliberately putting the map up so people are able to obviously work out where they are, work out where family and friends are as well. So, Colin, again, the messaging that you're getting from the Bureau of Meteorology is, a lot of rain. There certainly was a lot of rain in and around Sydney today, a little bit more intensity, as you say, starting to move south. But the expectation is not going to be like a month's worth of rain in one day, heavy falls in lots of different places, or is the expectation that what dropped on Taree now moves down the coast, or does it weaken as it moves down the coast?
The advice we had from the Bureau just before I come into this hookup was that it is not going to be like what we've had up in the Taree area, that it will definitely have some heavy rain and it's going to be quite widespread. But as it gets to the weekend, we should see that going out to sea off the south coast, and that'll allow us to continue to watch those rivers go down. Because, as you've mentioned, particularly in those areas that are still well flooded, and all the viewers know that they're living in that area with the highways shut, it's going to take a few days for that to recede properly, and for us to be able to properly get in there and do all the right assessments and help with get ready as we lead into that recovery effort. Now, we're already providing all of our information we have to the other agencies, and we'll work together.
No, Colin, believe me, every word you have to say, way more important than anything I've got to say for the next hour, so apologies for interrupting. Now, we know that, say, in relation to the Lismore floods of a couple of years ago, was that one of the problems people start to talk about is once you're able to get home, or after the waters have receded that you thought were coming towards your house, these sorts of things, that the power's not going to come back on. Now, there's lots of reasons for that, but also there's a need for electricians to almost check literally every plug in the house to make sure it's okay. Then you do that house to house, then you go street to street, then we go suburb to suburb. In the Queensland scenario, they literally, the Energex company there was giving absolute detail, street by street and house by house. That's the way they do it in Queensland. Give us an idea for those that are, on the fringe of it or it goes past, how do they check the information about things like electricity, and how and is part of what the SES does to have a bunch of electricians as part of your movement who can help supplement some of that emergency checking?
Yeah, so some initial advice for your viewers and listeners is on the SES website, for those that can get onto the websites at the moment, we do have a range of guides of what to do before, during and after flooding. So you're talking 100% about what to do after flooding, and there's some checklists and guides on things that residents can do themselves. As far as we will work hand in glove with the Reconstruction Authority, and they will lead the reconstruction effort, but we don't stop getting involved the moment that starts happening. It's a partnership by all the government agencies. So our members and the emergency responders will still be there working hand in glove to do our best to get people back into their homes as quick as possible. You're right, utilities are a critical thing. The last thing we want is someone going in and just switching the power on, and then because everything's wet, they end up getting electrocuted. There's also gas and the restarting of gas mains and the restarting of gas pilot lights, and all of those sort of things really need to be done in a controlled way. So for a lot of those areas, we're a little while off that. And when I say a little while, we're a few days until the water's properly receded and all clears are given. Right now, at this point in time, there's still 40 emergency warnings in place for different communities that are under evacuation guidance to and we need them to not be rushing back to their places until the proper clearance is given to go back in. And that's for their safety. I know they want to get home, they want to make sure their property's okay, and they want to check on things, but we want to do it in a way that doesn't result in them feeling they need to get to their home and perhaps driving through some floodwater to get there and then causing another flood rescue. So we want people to be safe. That's at the heart of our mission.
Yeah, and this is the thing where, look, you know, I get it. Everyone's tired. You want to get back to working out how to start to pivot towards normal. But again, remember, particularly with the SES, volunteers are there to help. The organisation is there to help and to understand they are moving as fast as humanly possible. And again, in a scenario that has already taken life, let's make sure that those numbers are as low as possible. All right, I know you've got plenty of other commitments to be across, but really, thank you so much, Colin, and thank you to our team who've just turned this around here too, which is part of the stuff you can see on the SES website right now. SES.nsw.gov.au. Also, again, if you're somebody just watching from a little further away, you're not involved in the emergency part of all of this, then I point you in the direction of things like hazardwatch.gov.au, where you can look from afar, study the maps, all the rest of it, and if that takes a little pressure off a website, good and fine and fair enough. One final time, 132 500, 132 500. Colin, thank you, mate. Thank you to all of the volunteers and the professional staff, of course, at the SES and the wider emergency movement. We really appreciate what you're doing, mate.
Thank you, Paul, and all your viewers have an amazing night and stay safe.
Good man. Thank you so much.